Hey guys, Iceman here. So we're going to be talking about some toad titans that I think should be in Godzilla vs. Kong, and that I think would be epic to see emerge in that film. We know that we ought to expect at least one new titan in the film, as the director of Godzilla vs. Kong made mention of how ultimately Godzilla and Kong will team together against another unrelenting force. So I presume this unrelenting force will most likely be another titan. Of course, at the end of Godzilla, King of the Monsters, Charles Dance's character at the end, the bad guy of that film, found King Ghidorah's head. He most likely paid a high price for it in the black market. But what is he gonna do with King Ghidorah's head? The head of the enemy in the Monsterverse so far. One of the greatest ones yet. Many have speculated that he could extract DNA from that head and make Destoroyah or a Mecha King Ghidorah. But what do you guys think? And I'll begin this top 5 video on that note. Mecha King Ghidorah, I think, would be a logical route. And in addition to that, Mecha King Ghidorah has always been one of the prominent foes of Godzilla, one of the most powerful. And even worse, perhaps, is that it can partly be controlled by external entities. Although Ghidorah, it seemed, was evil enough as it were. I imagine Mecha King Ghidorah being an easy fix for the Godzilla vs. Kong film, and they could ultimately team together against it. But what do you guys think? Another pick would be Biollante. Biollante is a very organic-like titan, and I think she would be very fitting for the Godzilla vs. Kong film. I can imagine her on the Skull Island setting, and she's extremely powerful. Some would argue one of the most powerful titans of them all. And I like it how she has several hands that are partly utilized as additional heads. This is like a freaking Hydra from Greek mythology, and she could take on many foes at once, I believe. She's very regenerative, and I would love to see her emerge in this film. Not exactly to be the enemy versus Godzilla and Kong, but just to have her appear in it in one way or another. Gigan is one of the most revered kaiju of them all. Gigan's extremely powerful, with the saw protruding out of its chest, the lasers it can emit from its eyes, and the ability to fly. Many would argue Gigan is the most powerful kaiju Godzilla has ever faced, and I think Gigan would be a great addition to this film. I imagine Gigan could easily be the primary nemesis in Godzilla vs. Kong. But how will they tie him to Ghidorah's severed head? I do not know. Maybe Ghidorah's severed head could just be a side story of some sort. But nonetheless, Gigan would be absolute toad. But what do you guys think? Destoroyah, I think, would be one of the more logical routes for them to take, because a story could easily unfold with the idea of the bad guys extracting DNA from Ghidorah's severed head and creating Destoroyah. Destoroyah is one of the most formidable foes out there, and I initially expected him to be the main enemy in Godzilla vs. Kong, and I still see that as possible. Destoroyah is like a Balrog. He can fly. He's very spiky and horny and can poke the crap out of his enemies. He can emit lasers and is very strong. He even killed the son of Godzilla in the film Godzilla vs. Destoroyah. What do you guys think about this menacing demon showing himself in Godzilla vs. Kong? Let me know in the comments below. Number 5 would be Titanosaurus, only because I think he would be very fitting on Skull Island. And although he looks dumb in his past iterations, I think the Monsterverse could make him look toad. Something like a dinosaur-monster hybrid. But it would be a great nod to the real fans of Godzilla, because Titanosaurus is one of the more obscure kaiju in the Godzilla franchise. So to bring something like this to life in the Monsterverse would be toad. But what do you guys think about my top 5 picks here? Who would you pick? What are your top 5 that you would hope to see in Godzilla vs. Kong? Let me know in the comments below, and like this video if you haven't yet. I am the Iceman. More videos to come.